Hello friends, Segue Magic is back. We took a little break from Segue Magic during the month of October because we were doing 31 Days of Twilight, but we are back with a vengeance and we have the next 8 weeks of topics already planned out. If you want to know what the topics are for the whole of November, go check out the Goodreads group. I will leave a link down in the description. For now, let's get started with today's topic, which is pop culture that terrified you as a child. I was a huge scaredy cat as a child, and I'm not that much better as an adult. The first thing that springs to mind for me is Ghostbusters 2. I saw this at the movies with a friend and her parents when I was like 6, I think, and her parents did this thing where they were like, we'll let the kids sit by themselves and we'll sit in the row behind them so that, you know, they get the full experience of like being at the movies and that feels all grown up and stuff. Yeah, except that then the woman's mink coat gets touched by the pink slime and comes back to life. I was terrified and had to spend the rest of the movie sitting in my friend's mother's lap because I was so damn scared. The second thing that springs to mind for me is Jurassic Park. My little brother borrowed this on VHS when he was 9 and I was 11, I think. It scared the absolute pants off me, and I basically watched that movie from behind the sofa. Weirdly, it's now one of my favourite movies, but 11-year-old Kirsti, not so much with the enjoyment. Number 3, another 90s movie, Home Alone. This is the movie that made me afraid of basements. I think it's pretty legit because the furnace in the basement in Home Alone is like really freaking terrifying, and I was super glad when we moved back to Australia where basements are not a thing. And the final thing that sprang to mind for me on this topic is a little bit weird, but it is The Velveteen Rabbit. I know that a hell of a lot of people love this book. They think it's really sweet and it's a wonderful childhood lesson, blah blah blah. No. I read this book and I spent approximately 6 months being completely petrified that all of my toys were going to have to be burned. Like, how? How is this a good book for children? I don't care that the Velveteen Rabbit comes to life and hops off into the forest. I don't care about that. The idea of all of your toys having to be destroyed. Nobody tells you that scarlet fever is not a thing that will affect you in the late 20th century. Nobody bothered to tell me that, so I just spent forever thinking that suddenly my mum was going to be like, oh, we've got to burn all your stuff now. It's much like quicksand. You think it's going to be a problem as an adult, really not. Don't forget to make your own video on the topic. You can post it on Saturday using the hashtag Segue Magic on Twitter and Tumblr. We will find it and put it into a roundup post. Mari, I can't wait to see your thoughts on this topic. I love all your faces and I'll see you next week. Bye guys.